Hi, guys. Welcome back to Hot Takes with Wheels. I'm super excited to be here again today with Jonathan Brawn, our Samsung expert. And we are going to talk a little bit today about the mainstream line of Samsung displays on their LFDs and some of the new exciting features that they've implemented on the new C series. So let's just jump right into it, Jonathan. I know that we got to see these and touch them and look at them, and they're so pretty at InfoComm.
Yeah.
And there's a couple really cool things that they've changed from the QXB models, so the QMBs, the QBBs, the QHCs, and change them over to the C models. Can we talk a little bit about some of the differences and how it can benefit and help our customers?
Yeah, I can't keep up with all the letters either, so
I know.
don't feel bad. Yeah. No, absolutely. So, I mean, we got to see them in Infocom, you're right, and they looked incredible. But now that we've actually got them out in the world, they really are incredible. I'm looking forward to getting one of my own here in the near future. But the new C generation, I mean, one, they put the darn things on a super diet. I don't know where the rest of the display went, but now you can get a 55-inch display that's just a hair over an inch thick. I'm having shades of like 2012, 2013 when the last ultra thin edge lit displays were around, but now we're back with these being slim direct lit. And so they don't have any of the downsides that made us go back to thicker product. And they're just super, super slim. So that makes it really aesthetically pleasing, also easier to hit ADA compliance, which is cool. And I like the fact that they added the consumer technology. So I know I'm actually going to make that relevant to everybody watching, I promise. But they took the slim fit wall mounts that Samsung did for like the frame TVs on the consumer side, so you can get them like millimeter off the wall. They put them in the commercial product now. So
Great.
that let them now mount them so close. So now think about your menu boards, think about your traditional advertising digital signage. We can make it look and feel a lot more like a poster than we used to be able to. So that's awesome to see. And that's
Very
something
cool.
I know a lot of customers are asking for.
And I think one of the other cool things that they did is talk about where they've repositioned the VESA mounting.
Yeah. So I know this is going to sound really dumb, but the very first time you've had to, and talk about hot takes, I'm going to
Yeah.
get yelled at by somebody for making the comment. But what we did was kind of silly, moving the VESA mount where the pattern wasn't in the same place consistently and also wasn't centered. It is now, spoilers, which makes things so much easier. But try installing one of the older displays in portrait. You're spending a ton of time with like a tape measure trying to get the offset right. So the center line, this is so much simpler, just getting it right smack in the middle of the chassis, much easier to do. I love that. Then change the pattern sizes, which is also good, but getting them right where they're super easy to mount. Ugh, and I know that seems silly, but it's a huge thing for anybody who's going to go bang one of these up on the wall.
Agreed completely. It does. It seems like a minuscule thing, but when talking to customers about it, they're like, finally, this is exciting that it's going to be so much easier to mount.
Absolutely.
You talked really briefly about taking some of those consumer aspects, the look, the feel, the sleekness, the sexiness into these commercial displays, right?
Yeah.
One of the cool things that I think that they've done to steal from the consumer side,
Oh, I know where you're going.
bezel.
Yep.
Yeah. How fun are the new bezel options?
Yes. This is going to again seem one of those things that people are going to go, really? Honestly, speaking as a consultant who's worked with Samsung now for a while, ever since the Frame TV came out, I've gotten tons of questions from end users going, well, do you have those for a commercial product? Because they like the wood, or whether it's a light wood, the dark wood, the gloss white. You want your display to fit into a space. You don't always want to have a black rectangle, as I've got hanging partway into frame here. You don't always want to have that. So being able to use those picture frame bezels, I know it's small, but it really does add to the look, whether it's a conference room where I want to match it to the wood of the table. It would certainly look a lot better if I did the dark wood, given I've got the dark wood desk in here, would look better. But also, in a retail environment or in a
Yes,
hotel, anywhere you're using it, it
that's
just
exactly what I
adds.
was thinking.
Yeah. And then the other fun one, this is an aspect a lot of people don't think about. So I want to customize the screen. You're not exactly going to go paint one of these, right? But
No.
you can get the bezel kits. You could paint those or go to your local sign shop and get vinyls done just like they wrap a car. Get it to wrap the picture frame bezels. So now I can get my display to exactly color match whatever I want in that space. So you got to get a little creative with those.
Amazing. And again, all of these little changes to make it
Yeah.
sleeker and prettier seem minuscule. So let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it. Has there been any major changes between the B models and the C models, or are we getting all of the same great technical advances with Tizen and Magic Info and 24/7 and 16/7 and all the great things at Samsung? Is there any other technical changes inside that's made between the B's and the C's?
A lot of the things stayed the same, which is actually good. And I think we're just doing a better job of telling everybody about it because there are some really cool things in the Bs that I don't think everybody noticed, like having the calibration capability. It's way underappreciated in any kind of digital signage where I want all my displays to be the exact same color. So, like your shirt is the same color of red no matter what. Mine's black, so that's pretty easy to match. But your shirt is the exact same shade of Exertis red wherever on whatever screens you're shown on, right? So that's staying. Even something simple like the auto leveling. So no, the display isn't motorized, so it actually levels itself, but having an on-screen level when you put it up so you know it's exactly level or automatically rotating for portrait, those things are staying consistent. The Smart View Plus, at least on the QMC and QHC, having that browser-driven universal screen mirroring, because that's an area, Samsung doesn't typically have AirPlay in the commercial models, but that kind of fixes for that plus Chrome devices. So all the things are the same. There are some internal improvements to the system on chip for signage, not something a user is going to see as a feature, but it's gone to Tizen 7 from Tizen 6.5. Yes, I'm nerdy like that, and I appreciate things of that nature. No, that doesn't matter to 99% of the population. So there'll be some performance improvements and other things. But in general, you're going to get a lot of the same features, although there is a new Tizen Zero config tool, which basically lets you use a web portal to set the device up and then have it download that configuration automatically, kind of like cloning it off USB, which Samsung's done for many years and doesn't really get used. But now I
Right.
can just get it online, have it download my config, and it's a free tool that's included. It was in the Bs, but a lot of people didn't pay attention to it. So I'm giving it a shout out here so some of our audience will get to know about it.
Because that would make it so much easier, right? Bring it
Exactly.
and install it right
I don't
away.
want to sit there with a stupid remote having to go through all the menus, even though it's not hard. I don't want to do that. And then
Right.
you multiply that by if I'm installing 100 screens in an office building or I'm doing 100 sites of signage, it changes, the type of tech I have to send, if nothing else.
Right. Fantastic. Well, thanks for giving us some hot takes on
Of
the
course.
exciting new C models that have come out within the last couple of months from
Yes,
Samsung.
ma'am.
And looking forward to our next time getting together and our next hot takes.
Outstanding. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate it as always.
Thank you, Jonathan.